welcome back to the channel. And today I'm making a sled. So just as an experiment really, it's nothing fancy. I'm just using some old decking planks. My sister wanted her old decking taking up, so I thought I'd reuse the wood. And here you can see I've got two sections. I'm basically using a mirror technique, so I'm screwing the two sections together so that when I mark everything out, cut everything out, I'll have a left and a right, I'll have an exact copy on both. So here I am, I'm just screwing them in. I always use torque screws for this kind of work. Yeah, they're better than the usual flathead and Phillips head posi drive screws. The star really gets a good grip, and as long as you've got the right head bit in, it saves you on stripping them out. So I find it really useful. These are self-tapping screws, so I don't have to drill any pilot holes. So once they're all screwed together, now's the time to put the curve on the front. So here I am with a French curve, just lining everything up there. I'll just scribe out a line with a pencil. So basically you have the 0 point on the French curve at the top, and then you just move everything down until it matches the end, and you end up with a nice smooth curve, and just like that. So now I'm cutting it down to length. I think this is about 3 feet. Yeah, it's about 3 or 4 feet long. I can't quite remember now off the top of my head what I did it to. Just quick mark off. Get your right angle on. Me framing square. So I've got a nice straight line. And then that end just gets quickly cut off. Though of course, as always, there's a screw in the way, no matter what you do. And just quickly swap that over and replace it somewhere else. I'll quickly just double check my measurement. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm actually putting a curve in at the end here. So I'm just measuring off about 6 inches along the edge to that cut point, and then about, I think it was about 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch up. It's just to give a kick at the back end of the sled there, so any soil, snow, dirt, grass, it's got somewhere to go. It can kick out from behind it. It doesn't all just build up. So there I am with a straight edge, just following that line. What I've just done. And then once that's marked up, I can take it outside and attack it all with a circular saw, which I'm about to do now. And quickly break out the circular saw. I think at this point I'm doing making a start on the... No, what am I doing here? Yeah, there we go. Obviously with a circular saw I can't follow a curve. What I can do is just do a series of straight cuts. And getting as close to the line, following the angle round as many times as I can. And we'll end up with a roughly cut out curve. And once that's done, I can start sanding it down and smooth out that curve down to the line that I drew. And in the end, we end up with something looking like this, which is a much more smoother curve. And now that's all been done, and I cut the end off, which you didn't see. We're going to start putting it all together. I'm building this so it's about 18-19 inches wide. So it's just a case of putting some battens across. As you can see me marking out here, I'm drilling in some pilot holes and putting in the self-tapping torque screws through. Now, the sharp-eyed amongst you might notice that because I'm a genius, I put them on the wrong side. I carried on with the rest of the video, obviously. I realised it had been a mistake afterwards. And then took it all apart again, off camera. But yeah, always check that. I don't know what was going on in my head at the time. But yeah, bit of a screw up. Yeah. But once I realised my mistake and fixed everything, it comes down to covering it. And here I'm using a plastic barrel. So what I've done is I've just made a very simple jig to get me the right distance that I wanted with a Sharpie. Put that up against the barrel and then just rotated the barrel. And I did the same again for the top end. So you can see I've got 2 lines there. It's the middle bit I want. So I've got the old saber saw out, reciprocating saw, cut down through those lines, leaving me with a round section in the middle. The tops and bottoms, I've actually thrown them away, but I'm sure there's something you could use them for. A little bit of a mini paddling pool for the bottom one. But once that's done, a vertical cut down allows you to then spread out the barrel. You've got a flat sheet of plastic then. But because it's moulded, there's obviously the, I don't want to call it tension, but it's kept its shape. It's a thermoplastic, so going over it with a heat gun helps relieve that pressure out. And you can slowly mould it over to the form that you want, which in this case is the bottom of the sled. So that's what I'm doing here. I've got my heat gun set up. I've screwed one end down, and then I'm just going over it with the heat gun and smoothing it out. That's the board there, is to help put some pressure down on the plastic. And just keep going over it with the heat gun. And here we go. At this point, I'm just, the hardest part is actually following the curve. I'm going to pay real close attention to that and just keep going over it. Don't try keeping the heat gun in one spot, because that plastic will actually go too soft and it'll start to sag. It's not what you want, because when it cools down, it'll set like that. So just keep it going, keep it gentle, and screw it in as you go. And that there then is a basic sled build. Well, hope you enjoyed that one. And I'll see you all in the next video. You can also follow this channel over on ODYSEE, BITCHUTE and Rumble. Links are in the description, and I'll see you over there.
Though much is taken, much abides. And though we are not now that strength which in old days moved earth and heaven, that which we are, we are. One equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield.